Hello everyone, welcome to my final dessert test, which is Queen of Puddings. Hope you enjoy. Thank you. Okay, here I'm just going to make my custard mixture, just adding my cream and milk to the saucepan. I don't have the saucepan on at the moment. If I had it on now and then added my cream and milk, it would just end up scalding, burning the mixture. I don't want that, so I added all the ingredients first, then turned on the heat. Just adding my split vanilla pod and the vanilla beans. Now I'm just going to whisk together my egg yolks and sugar and mix them together rigorously with a whisk. And what you're trying to achieve here, like in my previous videos, is a ribbon pattern, a ribbon texture. So you literally whisk out from the mix and you make a little pattern on the surface, and that pattern should just disappear. So you're looking for a nice pale, creamy look to your mixture. You'll see this in a second now. You see, it's almost there, almost there. Still need to whisk it a bit longer. You can see here what I'm doing. I'm lifting whisk out, and as you can see, it's nice and pale, nice reasonable thickness to it. This is what I meant before when testing if the mixture is ready using a whisk and creating a ribbon pattern on the surface. Now I'm just going to review my items. In a moment now I can mix the cream and milk mixture with my egg and sugar mixture. I'm just cleaned out that measuring jug because I may need it for later. Okay, as always, you don't want this mixture to boil, you just want it to be scalding hot. In this recipe, you add your sugar and egg mixture to this hot saucepan, and then you have to whisk vigorously. You don't want to have scrambled eggs, so you want to make sure you whisk it quickly, but of course carefully as well. Okay, now I'm just adding my sugar and egg yolk mixture, whisking carefully and constantly. You don't want to have scrambled eggs, you just want to keep whisking, 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 make it a little custard. Now with this particular custard, for this pudding, you're adding a few extra ingredients. And these extra ingredients are lemon zest, as well as breadcrumbs to thicken the custard. Now the breadcrumbs, you can use fresh breadcrumbs, but I use dry breadcrumbs because that's what I had at hand at the time. Of course, this could lead to a variation in the recipe itself and the texture, consistency of the custard. The custard itself, the finished product was quite thick, perhaps a bit too thick. However, it tasted nice, it looked fine, so I carried on with it, and actually resulted in a pleasant cake texture, as you'll see later in the finished product. Of course, I think in future I may use fresh breadcrumbs just to see the difference, but also in retrospect also use less breadcrumbs. Just use less breadcrumbs, now the mixture is not so thick. Okay, here I'm just adding it to the measuring jug. It's a pouring consistency, dropping consistency. It's not too bad. I think I still would use less breadcrumbs, I think, if I would do this recipe a second time. Now I'm just going to add it quickly now to the puddings, and then put them in a tray with boiling water, form a bain-marie, and put in the oven for literally about 5 or so minutes. Didn't really, really long time cooking. You are going to cook this for a second time as well. Of course, as always, be careful with boiling water and other equipment in the kitchen. Be very careful. Make sure you have plenty of room. I could have smoothed the custard mixture a bit more in the puddings. It's half it in the tray with water, hot water. Be very careful when you're transferring this to the oven. Make sure the oven door's open. Make sure you have your oven gloves ready if you're working alone, or get someone to help you. There we go. Here's a quick picture of the mixture themselves. As you can see, it could be a bit more tidy. Okay, I've just taken out my puddings, and they need to be allowed to cool slightly. They're a bit firm to the touch, which is what you want. Still soft. Like I say, you don't want to overcook them at this stage. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to heat up my raspberry jam in a saucepan, and then that raspberry jam will form a level surface on top of that mixture, like custard cake mixture. Not too thick a layer, but add a bit more added sweetness and moisture to the pudding. Simultaneously, when that's on a very low heat, I'm also going to prepare my meringue, the remaining egg whites. This is sort of done out of focus because my KitchenAid is set up in a kitchen where it's easy access. I don't want to move it around. It's quite heavy. The safe thing is it has to stay where it is, like any sort of kitchen equipment. Leave it where it is. Don't try moving things around. It's very heavy, so I left it as it is there. So you may just see the back of me working the meringue, but later on you will see a photo of it. See its glossy texture, which is what you need to achieve when adding your sugar. When adding your sugar to the meringue, of course, you're adding it in stages, not adding it all at once. You need to whisk your meringues first. You need to form soft peaks, and then you can start adding your sugar gradually. Okay, I'm just about to add my layer of raspberry jam and in my meringue. Once again, with the meringue, you can pipe it on if you wish. Once again, I don't have my piping bag, it's disappeared. I couldn't find one in the shop, so I just spooned it on and used back of my spatula, the edge of my spatula to create nice little patterns or soft peaks. You'll see that in a moment now. Here I'm just layering my raspberry jam. For both puddings, and then I'll add my meringue. Here you can see that I'm just carefully adding my meringue and making little soft peaks, as previously stated. I didn't have my piping bag. Of course, once this is done, you have to make sure you wipe the edges. Once again, presentation is always key. You don't want any meringue along the sides of your pudding mold, as this will just burn and it'd be difficult to get off. And if you are serving this in a restaurant, you really want to make sure you save time by not having to do this. Anything that saves time and quickens service is important. Okay, these meringues will be baked in the oven now for literally about 5 to 10 minutes. What you want here, you want to brown the meringue. And this is in a relatively low on about 140, 150 degrees Celsius. You want to brown the meringues. You don't want to brown too much. It's not like a pavlova, so you don't leave them in the oven and with the oven turned off and that's cool in the oven, you take them out straight away. Here's a picture of the meringue. Okay, now they're ready. They're browned nicely. I'm just taking them out of the oven, just out of camera. Here they are. Here's the finished Queen of puddings. You'll see some photos in a second of how they look. Just taking a couple of photos of them now quickly. When serving this pudding, I either serve it with icing sugar, dusting with icing sugar on top. Once again, you could serve it with fruit. Once again, something tart, like a coulis, just to cut through that sweetness. This is quite a sweet dessert. Here you can see photos of the finished product. Edges are clean. Has a bit of meringue on the right hand side, but with a damp cloth they can be tidied up. And here's a finished product. A bit of greenery wouldn't have gone amiss here. Perhaps a bit of mint leaves would be nice. Sprinkled around the sides, on top. And now we're just going to dig in, see how it looks inside. The meringue is quite soft, the jam is nice and soft as well. So holding my phone here, so it's a bit shaky. Here's the content. Not too bad, you know. The custard mixture like a cakey mixture. Similar to like an almond bake, I suppose. Not too bad, I think, for first attempt. Obviously, things I could change for the future presentation. Less use of breadcrumbs. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you do like what you see, please leave a comment, like, and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and stay safe, everyone.